Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown, the unofficial sumo podcast for official sumo fans.
So I says to the guy, "That's not Koto Yuki, that's my wife." Oh man.
This is Grand Sumo Breakdown. My name is Ryan.
My name's Eric.
This is Jake.
This is Mac.
And that was quite a Aki Basho, if I do say so myself. Let's just get right down to the results. We had a Yusho winner, Haruma Fuji, who didn't really look like he was going to be the Yusho winner until the last couple of days. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, he started out 2-3, giving up 3 Kinboshi. That really was not promising, but he certainly came back.
Yeah, 3 Kinboshi in a row.
One of those Kimboshi was a little bullshit. It was the Mato with Koto Shogiku.
Yeah.
I would like to contest that just because I like Koto Shogiku.
I think we went over this one in our last episode a bit, but yeah, there was quite a little bit of controversy to that one. He also racked up losses to Onosho and Hokuto Fuji in that time, and then won a couple, and then lost to another guy.
Takakeisho, I believe. Or was Takakeisho the later one?
Yep, Takakeisho. Yeah, and so, Haruma Fuji definitely did not ride the usual ride to the Yusho, but he got there, and he got it over Goeido, who was the Jun Yusho winner. Looked like he was going to be the winner for quite a while.
Goeido, he was winning by 2 as late as day 12, and then it all fell apart, and that led to that playoff.
Mm-hmm. It was his Yusho to lose, and unfortunately, he definitely lost. I would actually say he choked, like he couldn't pull it off in the end.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he was a little apprehensive in the last couple of days, and just because we didn't mention this before, Goeido had a 1-match lead going into the final day, where he was going to match up against Haruma Fuji. Haruma Fuji had a 10-4 record. Goeido had an 11-4 record. Haruma Fuji was able to beat him in their first match of the day, had an immediate rematch where Haruma Fuji just pushed Goeido right out of the ring without any resistance pretty much and took the Yusho. He
also practiced a little bit before he actually went into that match with Goeido. He grabbed one of the lower-level stablemates from his Heya and said, and actually practiced with him as he was going forward. So he practiced the move that he was going to do against Goeido. Cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was very interesting indeed.
Coincidence or not, it looked almost exactly like his practice run, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I wonder if they had like a curtain separating the two so they couldn't see.
Yeah, I think actually the East and West have separate locker rooms. That's why they come out through the tunnels on each side. I saw the commentary on the last day said that just because of the way the rankings lined up, they faced each other, and then they had to switch sides so that the higher ranking guy was on the East.
That's right. I remember them doing that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, just the way that the rankings worked out that way.
How does that work? Because I'm not 100% sure, and maybe one of you guys know. What determines who's going to be on the East side and the West side? Is it just whoever has the better record is on the West side, or? I'm
not positive. I know I know that the guys are obviously split into East and West on the Banzuke, and I think if that lines up, they'll be on those sides. But yeah, I don't know how they determine if both guys are on the East or both on the West. Maybe some listeners can chime in on that, but I'm not sure.
Because I was a little confused on that. They said the higher ranked person needed to be on one side versus the other, but I mean it was the same 2 guys in the same match. So I'm wondering if record plays into it a little bit. But moving on from there, let's talk about some of the guys who won some special prizes. Let's start with Takakeisho, who we mentioned earlier, winning the Shuken Show, or the Outstanding Performance Prize. And that was given to him due to his win over Haruma Fuji and over Goeido. He's the only guy who beat both of them.
I believe Koto Shogiku also beat both of them.
I stand corrected. Koto Shogiku also beat both of them, but if I remember correctly, Koto Shogiku had a bit of a henka in his match versus Goeido, and then obviously the whole Mata thing with Haruma Fuji.
They were not clean wins, which is probably why he did not get that Outstanding Performance Prize.
Yeah, this is one where I haven't seen a very a super strict definition of what they have to do to get this prize, but usually it's whoever is able to beat the eventual winner. But yeah, when there's a tie or when there's something else going on, it's I'm not quite positive.
Yeah, so what we saw in the last Basho, Mitake Yumi was the only person who's able to take out Hakuho, and he got the outstanding performance. The Basho before that, Hakuho had a Zensho Yusho, or a perfect record, 15-0.
Did he get his own prize?
Got it. And nobody got the outstanding performance prize. Moving on from that, we had 2 people get the Kanto Show, or the Fighting Spirit prize. Onosho and Asanoyama. And I'm going to flip that over to Flair because those are two people that he had winning special prizes in his predictions.
That I did.
What did you see at the beginning of the Basho, Flair, that made you make these incredible
prophetic
decisions?
Well, let me tell you what. So, Onosho, he was just looking pretty good. He's like, he's put up 10-5 records for the last two Bashos prior, and he ended up doing it again, which is very surprising.
Hold up, real quick before you go any further, I want to mention his debut was 3 Basho. This was his third Basho. He is the first Rikishi ever to have 10 wins in each of his first 3 Bashos.
Yep, consecutive 10 wins.
Oh wow, that's
Ever.
impressive.
Yeah, as far at least in the modern era, from the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Does that technically put him on an Ozeki run already?
Yes.
If he gets 11 or 12 in the next 2 or something like that?
I don't know.
I bet he needs to be up in Sanyaku, but I have a feeling he's going to be in the Sanyaku next Banzuke.
I would say maybe Sekiwake or Komosubi for sure.
Yeah.
But
If he-
Ozeki,
If he
more.
gets 13 plus, I would not be surprised to see Mozeki.
That'd be pretty cool. I think he's probably bound for that eventually, but I don't know. He's been awesome so far.
Yeah, he did see some. I would say he when he was facing Goedo and Harvey. Well, I guess he beat Harvey Fuji, but when he was facing some of the other Sanyaku higher rank Rikishi, he definitely was losing some of those matches, and those kind of when he started losing some matches and dropped out the Yusho race.
I want to correct you on that because I looked that up earlier today. He beat both Sekiwake, both Komosubi, or he might have lost to Tochiozan.
Tochiozan beat him.
Tochiozan. He beat the only Yokozuna. I think he beat Terano Fuji before Terano Fuji went out. So he beat most of the Sanyaku except for Goedo and Tochiozan. And when he started losing, he was just facing other Maegashira.
Okay,
So
I will correct my thing to say that his style of sumo seems to have it seems to be counterable. People are starting to kind of learn what it is, and he's been getting some losses up there.
Yeah, he still obviously performed very well, but yeah, there was a bit of I got some deja vu going back about a year to Ishiura's debut. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys remember that one because we love that
he's
guy.
my favorite.
But yeah, so he came out. I think he had 1 or 2 losses at the beginning, and then he just belted out 10 straight wins because he kept doing that super low kind of soft.
move.
They call it submarine all the time on the commentary. But yeah, he got 10 in a row on that by diving for guys' legs. And then at the end, I think he lost his last 4.
Yep.
Something like that. I think he ended up with 10 and 5. But yeah, those 10 wins were straight. And then by the end of it, they were we figured it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I agree. We saw some kind of parallels there. He beat the really tough guys at the beginning, though.
But unlike Ishiura, Onosho's repeated his performance 3 straight times.
Right.
That's true.
Plus, Onosho has the size on Ishiura.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't look quite as much like an action figure, but I think I can still get behind him.
Yeah. And then the other one that Fleric so boldly predicted to get a special prize, Asanoyama.
Indeed.
What led you to that decision?
Well, he was new to rank, and he seemed to be doing pretty well in the previous one, so I picked him.
And you just kind of pulled it out of your ass at
Pretty
the
much,
time
yeah.
of the podcast, yeah.
And it worked out quite well.
It worked out very well.
Very true.
I was actually very impressed with him. It seems like he's rocketed through the rankings fairly quickly. He doesn't even have enough hair to do the proper top knot.
No losing records.
Okay, so much like Hokuto Fuji when he
Fuji,
came in.
same, pretty parallel. Hokuto Fuji at this point, I think this is only his second. I think it's his second losing
second,
record
yeah.
ever.
So, did he come from college as well, or he started from the
No, it
beginning?
looks like he started in Sandanme. So I'm not quite sure how that works. I think the college entrance like Mitakayumi and some other guys got. I thought that went straight to Makushita.
Yeah,
I think so
you have
too.
to be like a champion coming out of the college, or is that how that
Yeah,
works?
I'm not sure, something like that. But yeah, he had a couple basho. This is Asanoyama. He had a couple basho in Sandanme, Makushita, 3 in Juryo, and now here he's all the way up there.
Yeah, and hopefully he can keep that performance going as he moves forward. And
Yeah, I really liked this sumo.
oh yeah,
It was
definitely.
very impressive, yeah. Especially one of the matches that stood out was when he went against Kodo Shogoku, and they both kind of did the whole hug and chug thing, which I know has a technical name, but they both
I
kind
think
of
hug and chug is the technical name.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Pretty sure. Or perhaps the belly bounce.
The belly bounce.
Yes.
I like that one.
They had quite good belly bouncing skills, and so yeah, I just enjoy watching him. I enjoy watching his brand of sumo.
And then the last special prize that was given out, the Gino Show, or the Gino Show, I'm not sure if that's a hard or a soft G. But that was given out to Yoshikaze. Had a 8-7 record. He's really streaky for Yoshikaze in this Basho. Started off 0-4, then had a 8-0 run, then finished up 0-3. But yeah, he always puts together some pretty impressive performances. A lot of times it looks like he's out of it, and then he just puts his head down and bull rushes people right out of there.
Yep.
He kind of surprised me making it to Sekiwake ranks. I never really made note of him when we were watching. He just all of a sudden one Basho he was a Komusubi, and he just hasn't lost.
Yeah, he's like that level of guy. He's like that level of talent. I mean, he's been around forever. You can tell by his face. He's got that bee sting catcher's mitt look to his face, and this Basho he ended up bleeding again
Multiple times.
But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Oh yes, of course. But yeah, I mean, he was very streaky, but he did show off a cool Kimarite or winning technique.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he got a leg grab technique against Tochinoshin.
Oh, poor Tochinoshin.
Yeah. That's the other big storyline here is the injuries, isn't it?
Yep, and we'll get to that. First, we did want to touch on Juryo had a very exciting day 15. There's a 4-way playoff between Abi, Minishiki, Kotoyuki,
That rat bastard.
Kotoyuki, and Homare Fuji.
Was he Koyuki?
Yes, it was
Yeah,
Kotoyuki.
Kotoyuki.
I remember
Yeah.
that cheering very hard against him.
That was.
It ended up Abi versus Kotoyuki in the final, and Abi ended up winning that. I don't know much more about that because those 3 matches were the only Juryo matches I watched.
There were some extreme henkas with one of Kotoyuki's
yeah.
matches, and there
Oh
was
yeah,
one
was that his
where,
semifinal?
Yeah.
where he just saw it coming from a mile away and was just having none of this and moved out of the way.
Yeah.
I was going to say on that one, the Abe. So when there's 4 people, apparently they do a single elimination bracket, is what I learned. And there's like apparently rules about the number of contestants, what kind of bracket or what kind of rules you have for the playoff, which I found out because there's a potential 12-way playoff this time on day 12. But we never came to that. But on this time, it was a single elimination bracket, and Abe, when he went against, I think it was
Homare Fuji is
Homare Fuji?
that's probably how it's pronounced. But yeah, that was the matchup, and then Aminishiki versus Kotoyuki.
Yeah, he did a blatant henka against him, and so he got past the first round.
Which
But
is,
then,
I'm sure the Sumo Association just loves seeing henkas in their championship playoffs.
Yeah.
indeed, but he did win the championship bout with some straight up sumo though.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he got that one going.
And that pretty much wraps up all the huge results from this. We'll probably cover where some of the other members of the Sanyaku ranks finished up, but we're going to move on to the biggest storyline of this Basho by far, the injuries that saw 3 Yokozuna not even participate or join, and then 2 of the 3 Ozeki dropped out with injuries, along with a couple of others that dropped out and a couple others that joined in midway through the Basho. What are you guys' just overall thoughts on the injuries in this one?
Yeah, I think the Yokozuna being out is probably the biggest of the most important of those stories, but we have heard word that all 3 are recovering. There's a fall Jungyo or exhibition tour, and it sounds like most of the guys are going to be participating in that. So good signs for November.
They were saying this is the first time in 99 years where almost all the Yokozuna and almost all the Ozeki have been absent from a Basho.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeesh.
I think I was talking to Jake or Mac over the weekend and just mentioning I don't think we've seen a Basho finish with all 4 Yokozuna still in it. Either like Kakuryu, Haruma Fuji I know has pulled out of one this year, or Kisano Sato obviously have pulled out. There might have been one where they all finished, but since Kisano Sato was raised, I don't think there's been one where all 4 of them have finished a Basho together.
Yeah, Kakuryu in particular has not finished a tournament since March.
Yeah. And coming up to the 1-year anniversary of his last Yusho win. But yeah, so Takayasu going out, I know left a lot of people upset, especially around
Me.
this table.
Yeah, I wasn't too pleased with that one.
I know a lot of people have Takayasu as their favorite, especially going into this tournament with a weakened Yokozuna field. Felt this was his time to win a Yusho. Obviously, he went out on the 2nd or 3rd day along with fan favorite Ura.
That one also hurt.
Yeah, that hurt me. Behind Ishiura, who I might have to say bye to pretty soon. Ura is my favorite. So not a really good performance out of my favorites in this one.
What did they rule his injury as? Was it a torn ACL?
I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything official.
The Tachiai.org blog said it was an ACL injury.
Yeah, that's never good.
Yeah, we talked about that on the midway a little bit, but that's like a year. You know, if you in a football or basketball where we're more familiar with it, that's like that's a season ender.
Yeah. Who knows with sumo? Maybe they're tougher than our American athletes, and he'll be back in the next Basho, and he'll win.
Possibly.
Eat his chunko. Eat
Fingers
lots
crossed.
of the chunko.
Yeah. And some other injuries. Sada Naomi was out until day 5, I believe. Came in, lost a whole bunch in a row, but he was able to get a couple of wins towards the end of the Basho. And Aoyama came in after day 7.
That he did.
And he only won like 2 or 3 matches. after he
Two
came
glorious
back.
matches.
Yeah.
No, I thought he won 3.
Yeah, he went 3, 5, and 7.
Thank you. That's what I thought.
So he sat out
glorious
the
matches.
glorious. Yeah, yeah, because he was your other pick for a special prize, wasn't he?
That he was, yeah.
That one didn't turn out quite as well.
No.
But he got 3 and Sada Naomi got 2. So
Yep.
I'm not sure it was that worth it for them to come back and risk re-aggravating. But I mean, they did what they did, and hopefully it stemmed their decline a little bit.
Yeah.
I bet they'll get points during the Bonzuke when they figure out the rankings and such.
Probably better than if they went 0-15. But
Yeah.
who knows?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Who
but
knows how much?
it does show like some commitment to like this is a Basha where a lot of people are not showing up, but we're toughing through. We're going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're going to give them points for
Some
that.
brownie points, yeah.
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 I would say at least Aoyama, despite one incident that we'll discuss later, he definitely did earn a little bit of my respect just for coming back and and getting a couple wins over decent competition.
He lost to most of the Sanyaku ranks that he faced.
He got some
Proving
wins.
my
did
point
win
that
a
I made
couple.
in the preview. He did beat at least one Sekiwake or Komusubi, I believe.
But yeah, it was after a week of probably not training, and
Yeah.
he went. The first thing he went Haramufuji, and then probably Guedo, Sekiwake, Komusubi.
No, this
There
is
you
definitely
go.
not a Basho to judge his ability off
Yeah.
of. We'll see him.
It was
come
Mitake
November.
Yumi for the record.
It was Mitake.
was
He beat him in his
Mitake Yumi.
third match back.
So let's move on
that's
out
right.
of
I
the
remember that
injuries to our next topic, which is just our surprises. And speaking of Mitake Yumi, that's one of the surprises for me, and I think a lot of people. What do you think about that, Mac?
Yeah, I was not expecting his performance to be so poor for this one. I was expecting a lot more out of him, particularly, as Jake had mentioned before, the match against Aoyama. It just looked like he gave up, which I didn't quite understand. With as much talent as Mitake Yumi has and as much fire as he can bring into the ring, he just got pulled over. It was a slapdown.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot with Mitake Yumi, especially early, just getting slapped down very quick. So I don't know if that's a result of him like over committing to like pushing somebody over and just getting caught, or what was going on. But he definitely did not have the same sumo that he's brought to previous Bashos that got him to the Sekiwake rank.
Yeah, he kind of has that same thing going on like Kisano Sato. He's huge and almost spherical, but he always keeps that nice center of balance. So seeing him getting tipped over, that was kind of surprising. He did get a win over his fellow Sekiwake and 1 out of the 2 Komusubi. But yeah, 8 and 7 didn't come through too well.
But in the past, we've seen him beat Yokozuna. He's gone
Oh, yeah.
toe-to-toe with other Ozeki and Yokozuna and
Beat
at least
Hakuho.
made it entertaining to watch. I mean, he's made it tough matches. It's just he didn't bring that this time.
No, it is important to note he did have an 8 and 7 record. He is going to maintain his Sekiwake rank. He's not going to be dropping, but it's such a depleted field. You'd like to see somebody with his potential to do a lot better than what he did. Anybody else have any major surprises from this Basho?
I would like to, as we're on the topic, Mitake Yumi, that when I was looking through the records, it looks like kind of like someone who had a very similar record to him was actually Yoshikaze. The past 3 Bashos, like the 3 Bashos ago, they both went 8 and 7, and then during July they went 9 and 6, and then they both during this tournament went 8 and 7 as well.
All right, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So as Mitake Yumi goes, so does Yoshikaze.
Apparently,
With vastly different degrees of facial damage.
Yes.
So I guess that means if I have Mitake Yumi becoming the next Yokozuna, the Basho before or afterwards, Yoshikaze will also be.
They'll both win 2 in a row at the same time somehow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that makes sense.
And despite the fact that they're like, more than 10 years age difference,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. It'll happen.
Yeah.
I was pretty surprised by Ikioi. He's, at least in my head, he seems like he's like a top 3, top 4 Megashira kind of talent. But yeah, he went 6 and 9. That was really a letdown, and not just for my fantasy sumo team.
Yeah. I wonder, could it be his age getting to him? I know he's up in his 30s now. He's clearly not the oldest guy out there.
Oh, he's only 30.
He's only 30, yeah, because I know there's plenty of guys out there. I mean, Hakuho is like 32, I think. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Ikiyoi there. I kind of was expecting, like you said, a lot more out of him from that position. But who knows?
Yeah.
Hopefully he drops down, gets to about where Endo was, and can kind of clean up the bottom ranks of Maegashira and rise up to where we expect him to be.
Yeah, pull us up at 10-5, and then maybe he gets another 6-9 or something like that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Endo did what he was supposed to for this Basho, especially coming in. A lot of people thinking that he had an injury.
He had surgery between this one and July, didn't
Yeah,
he?
so I
forgot
know some people weren't even expecting Endo to show up to this Basho. So for him to come in, even at the bottom Maegashira ranks, come in and get that 10-5 record, that's a pretty good showing for Endo. I think he'll shoot up the standings quite a bit to kind of be where he belongs.
Yeah, a 2-digit win is nothing to scoff at.
No.
He did very well this Basho.
Yeah, no matter where you're at in the rankings. So, and a 10-5, if Endo was completely healthy, that's about the range where he should be. Then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess in my mind, the only thing that was surprising about it was how much he was recovered when I didn't expect him to be.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's healthy, that would not have been a surprising record. But
No, not at all. Last time he was at this rank, I actually was doing some research. I think it was last September, or it could have been last November. He was a Maegashira 14-13, ended up with a 13-2 record, and had the Jun Yusho for that tournament.
yeah, that sounds more like it.
Yeah. Moving on from surprises, we discussed it a little bit earlier, so I think I might skip over this, but anybody have more thoughts on Onosho and his kind of second half performance? Because I know during our midway Basho episode, we all kind of thought, hey, who's going to win this thing? Everybody selected Goedo, but I figured, hey, Onosho's coming up. He's only got Maegashira in front of him. He's going to take this thing. That didn't happen.
That sounds like us all four picking wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we may have discussed Haruma
Yeah.
Fuji in the race, but yeah, we really underestimated him, and I wouldn't say we overestimated Onosho because 10-5 already is awesome.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Definitely respectable.
Yeah, he was set up to actually win the whole thing. Like, he went through all the high ranks. Like, all he had to do was keep winning.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I'm sure there's going to be a Yusho or two, or maybe more in Onosho's future if he can keep on the path he's currently on. I definitely see a lot of good things for this kid fast.
Yeah, for sure. He's very young. I would actually chalk it up to experience. Like, he was going against some tougher opponents the whole time, and he was the one who looking to win the whole entire thing. And then, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to handle that while also winning at the same time and be able to pull it out.
yeah, we mentioned it in the midway episode, but when he went up against Goedo seemed to just handle him.
Yeah.
And that was that his only loss up until the midway, or
No, I think that was
one
his
of two,
second loss.
something like that.
That
but
was his
yeah,
second loss.
I remember we brought it up and discussed it as something that, like, yeah, if these guys are the ones in the playoff, we know how the playoff's going to end, but
Yeah.
it could potentially get to that.
Yeah.
That was actually his first loss.
That was his first loss.
Good for him.
Ha, jinx.
Moving on, another storyline. A lot of people are going to be happy to see Kodo Shogiku with a very good bounce back Basho. Good old man Giku with a 10-5 record or 9-6. I don't know.
10-5 for
10
the
and
angry,
10-5.
10-5 for the angry grandpa.
Yep. Coming back at Maegashira 1 rank, where we saw both Komosubi lose, so we should see Kodo Shogiku back in the Sanyaku ranks.
It was nice to see his knees both working.
Indeed.
I don't know. I was happy to see his brand of sumo actually working in his favor this time. His hug and chug, or the belly bump, whatever you want to call it. But it just seemed to work for him. It just seemed to click on this one. He seemed to keep his balance a lot more. There weren't near as many slapdowns. A couple henkas, but otherwise not terrible. And then, of course, the Mato with Haruma Fuji.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Still
counts.
counted as a win.
it still counts.
Yeah. As I was doing some Googling, his first match against Goedo, which was kind of technically a henka because he went to the side. I heard some people describe it as a Haruma Fuji HNH, which is a Haruma Fuji no henka, which non-henka, which is pretty much where you hit him quick and then you go to the side and do stuff. It was totally something like that when he did with that thing.
So you just go to the side and then do stuff, and then you win?
Well, no,
I think there's an initial hit.
Yeah, let me
first.
explain that. Like, henkas are kind of weird because if you definitely just jump to the side, it's kind of very anticlimactic. But, like, if you get a fast one who's, like, a different body size, you really have to use your speed mobility to win. And Haruma Fuji does this a lot where he does a quick hit and then he goes to the side and tries to use misdirection to win the match. And like on that one, it definitely was that type of a henga.
Give him a little bit of a distraction slap.
Yeah, he definitely met him in the beginning. Yeah.
And I saw this subject kind of brought up in the r/sumo subreddit a little bit, and I kind of want to bring it up with you guys, get your guys' opinion. Was this a good basho? Like, was this we know it's a memorable basho, but was it good? Let's just kind of go around the table and start with Jake on his opinion.
I enjoyed it. I guess it all depends on your definition of good. To me, it was very enjoyable because of the drama. At the very beginning, it was really up in the air with the 3 Yokozuna out, and especially after day 2 or 3 where we lost 2 more Ozeki, we lost Ura. I mean, losing Ura doesn't mean we're losing a Yusho contender necessarily, but it means we're losing somebody exciting. But with so many people out, it felt so up in the air. After 2 straight basho of Hakuho, nothing wrong with that, but it can get stale. So
It's happened 39 times in the past, so
whatever.
It's not treading new territory.
yeah, but this one felt like it could. It could be a first basho for a number of different people. So that led to be very exciting for the first week or so. Stabilized a little bit into Goeido being the front runner for a bit, and then obviously the last couple days where Goeido choked a little bit and Harumafuji came back strong. Very dramatic. I would call it good because I was very entertained.
Yeah. What about you, Flark?
Yeah, I just want to make a point on the Harumafuji coming back against Goeido. I think the question of whether or not Harumafuji is a Yokozuna was answered right there. He just, he knew he wanted to win coming into that, and he just chased after Goeido the whole entire time.
Never gave up, even though it didn't look good for him after the first 5 days.
No, yeah, he was behind, but he knew that on the last. I felt like he truly believed that he was going to win against Goeido 2 times, and he totally did.
Without much difficulty.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Easily handled him.
Quick matches.
Yep. What about you, Mac? Was this a good or a bad basho?
Well, I felt bad for the guys that got hurt. I mean, not just the Yokozuna and the Ozeki, but the guys that actually, you felt for the Rikishi that were injured during the basho. And for that, I mean, that would be the only negative that I can think of with this basho. Otherwise, like Jake said, I found it quite entertaining. You had a lot more going on in the lower end, as in the Magashira jockeying for rank. You had the fewer guys on the top tier performing well, so it was really enjoyable in my opinion.
I would say I don't want every basho to be like this.
No.
No, but I enjoyed it. So in that sense, it was good. I just hope that these guys can recover. It was great to have a nice, surprising, unpredictable one, even if the result wasn't super surprising. But yeah, I want higher level sumo, but I also like a dash of unpredictability here and there.
Yeah.
I agree. It was a nice wacky aki for before the end of the year.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Flark.
I was going to say, to finish up my point on what I felt about the tournament, I will go, yes, it was a very enjoyable tournament, mostly because I ultimately love drama.
Yeah.
I follow many competitive endeavors from sports to competitive video games, and the thing that stays constant is good drama, makes for great entertainment. And this thing had it the entire time, as you described, with great, the lead changing multiple times, and then like around day 12, I believe there was a potential 12-way playoff at the end. Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fun just to entertain the notion that that could happen.
Which is kind of the whole point in general of sports, is to be entertaining.
Yeah.
So unpredictability mixed with a little bit of, you got to have a favorite in order to have an underdog. So yeah, the favorite's got to win a lot of the time, but yeah, this time it felt like everybody was an underdog.
Yeah. And the only thing I feel like I can add to this conversation, I agree, I was highly entertained by this basho, good or bad. I feel like everybody made my points for me, but I don't think I've ever been as excited for a final 3 days as I was after day 13, even when it was just Asanoyama, Harumafuji, and Goeido. Just the possibility that Asanoyama, in his Makunuchi debut, the lowest ranked guy, could come in and possibly win the Yusho or force a tiebreaker with the only Yokozuna and the only Ozeki. That was the most excited I've ever been.
Even if it was mathematically possible, but not. Yeah,
I knew it wasn't going to happen, but the possibility of that, and
yeah.
the day before where we could have had a 12-way playoff, which we know is not going to happen.
Right.
But just the excitement at the possibilities towards the end of this thing, I thought was fantastic.
What did they say? It had been 110, I think. How many years it had been since somebody making their Makunochi debut won a basho.
I don't know. That
Did you hear
sounds right.
that?
I didn't.
Nope,
I
I
didn't
missed
hear
that
that,
one.
but
Yeah,
I'm going to say
obviously
120
it's been a while.
years.
So
It's been 120 years.
is that a Fleric fact or is that a real fact?
It is a Fleric fact.
Okay.
You can quote me on that.
we'll file that under the Fleric facts list and leave it off the regular one.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up our discussion on the Basho, the Aki Basho, the 2017 Aki Basho. And we're going to go to a break and come back. And we're going to talk about the Bansuke for the Kyusho Basho in November.
Are the luscious locks on your crown keeping your sumo game down? Are you dismayed by your flyaways? Fear not, your top knot. Tidy Top Knots is the industry leader in uniformity and style. Cleanliness is next to godliness, and we all know clean starts with the hair. Let us take care of your hair while you take care of the competition. We have you covered from top to top knot. Tidy Top Knots. Get yours today.
And then I said, Ishiura, I hardly know her.
Oh, man. Welcome back to Grand Sumo Breakdown. As you know, we like to throw our hats into the prediction ring. And so we're going to do that a little bit right now. We're going to take a look at the final Bansuke where everybody stacked up for the Aki Basho and kind of try to figure out where everybody's going to end up for the Kyusho Basho coming up in November. So kind of the quick hitters, we are pretty sure Tamawashi and Tochiozan are no longer Komusubi, as they have both had Makikochi or losing records.
Agreed.
And so who do you guys think is going to take the spots of those two?
Well, hold on a second. Let me bring up my correct answers here. Kodo Shogaku and Onosho are going to be our new Komusubi.
Would you like to back that up?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Mac.
I would have to agree with Jake. Based off their performances in this Basho, I would say Koto Shogaku and Onosho are frontrunners.
Yeah, and I think because of where they're ranked right now, Kodo Shogaku will take the slightly more prestigious east side versus Onosho on the west side, because they otherwise had the same record.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he also has history as well. I don't know if that plays any part into it, but I could see that playing something to give him the east.
Yeah. So basically what's going to happen, and I can't see any other path to the next Bansuke, but Kodo Shogaku had a 10-5 record as a Maegashira 1 West, and so he'll probably move up into the Komusubi East spot, which is going to be the highest Komusubi rank, due to Tochinoshin, who was the only other person ranked ahead of Kodo Shogaku between the Komusubi rank, had a 4-11 record, so he's expected to fall down the Bansuke quite a bit.
Yeah, probably at least 6 or 7 spots.
Yeah. Hokuto Fuji, Aoyama, both the Maegashira 2 ranks. Neither one of them had a winning record, so we expect both of those to drop down. And
Aoyama much further, but like we mentioned before, he did get a couple wins. So.
he did get a couple. I expect him Maegashira 8, 9, 10 range. Maybe 7. I really don't know. Complete pull out of my ass guess.
Yeah.
But then, the next guy, Onosho, is the next guy with a winning record and a 10-5 winning record, which you would expect quite a bit of a bump with that. So I'm fully expecting those two to be the Komusubi ranks. Yeah, Mac.
I also think one to look out for in the future would be Daishomaru. Also, another guy that put up really good numbers in this Basho. Maybe not to the level of Komusubi or Sekiwake right now, but definitely a Maegashira 1 or 2 at least.
I had him on my list for a 4 to 6-ish range.
Okay.
Only because I think there's enough guys ahead of him that I think Tochinoshin's probably falling quite a ways. But, I mean, you got guys like Tamawashi, who's probably going to be in that, probably a 1, maybe a 2 or a 3. I mean, there's other guys that are going to be falling, but not super far. Daishomaru and some of the other guys down at the bottom, like Asanoyama, will certainly be getting a pretty good raise. But I don't know if I'd put him that far up.
Yeah. And kind of fill out the Sanyaku ranks. I mean, we know who the Yokozuna are. I don't think anybody really cares about who's Yokozuna 1 through 4. Obviously, Harumafuji is going to be 1E, and then probably Hakuo 1 West. But.
Yeah. Who is it? Teruno Fuji, we dropped down to Sekiwaki. So we'll have
That's a
3
very
Sekiwaki.
good. I forgot about that.
We're going to have another triple Sekiwaki Basho.
Yep. So what happened? Teruno Fuji and the Basho before this one had a losing record, Makikochi. And so what that does, that puts him at the Kadoban Ozeki rank, which Kadoban, I don't know the exact definition of the word, but if you're a Kadoban Ozeki, it means get your shit together or you're going to drop down to Sekiwake. He, in fact, did not get his shit together, had to drop out.
It's all spread apart.
Yeah, it's everywhere on the dohyo right now. So Teruno Fuji will drop down to the Sekiwake rank, join Mitaka Yumi and Yoshikaze most likely, and he will need to get a 10-5 record or better to regain his Ozeki ranking.
Otherwise, he's got to earn it back the hard way with 3 straight double-digit bashos.
Yeah. Now, not that this matters, I'm just curious. Mitake Yumi and Yoshikaze both finished with an 8-7 record, but Yoshikaze getting that special prize, do you think maybe he jumps over Mitake Yumi to get the Sekewake East 1 spot? Or
I would say probably no, because technically that would make Mitake Yumi get demoted for
That's
a winning
true.
record.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know well enough to say for sure. But I feel like that wouldn't sit right.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know where Teruno Fuji's going to sit among the three. I don't know how they're going to rank him.
I would assume, like you said, the other two had a winning record, so they wouldn't get demoted.
You
so
think they'd put Teruno Fuji at
Teruno
the
Fuji
bottom?
would be the bottom Sekewake rank, would be my guess. So, yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about with the Sanyaku, even though we just were. What do you guys think about the Zone of Death, Maegashira 1 through 3? Where do you think that's going to kind of line up?
I think two of the guys that are staying there for sure are Chiyo Tairyu. I mentioned Tamawashi will be moving down from Komusubi, and I don't think he'll fall any further than 1 to 3. And this one I'm less certain on, but Hokuto Fuji, I hope he doesn't drop more than 1 rank.
Yeah,
He
I would
had
agree with that.
I mean, he didn't have a winning record, but he still did well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd agree with that. I guess my prediction there would be Chiyo Tairyu is probably the only one I could see actually moving up just with the 8-7 record. Won't
Yep.
be anything huge. Maybe Maegashira 2. Otherwise, Takakeisho maybe 3 or 4 with that prize that he got.
Yeah, Chiyo had a really good start too.
Yeah,
This Basho.
he like I said, the Maegashira 3 rank, they were the almighty Maegashira 3, Onosho and Chiyo Tairyu at the midway point, and then they both kind of fell off.
You really want to make that stick, don't you?
The almighty Maegashira, it was true for the first week.
The
Definitely,
first week, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Chiyo
Yeah.
Tairyu and Onosho were just houses of fire going up against everybody, but then definitely second week was not kind
The
of
data
them.
doesn't lie.
Yeah,
You got to follow the data.
exactly. The data was saying Maegashira 3 rank is almighty for this Basho, and then the data started lying, so, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think to fill out the Maegashira 1 through 3 ranks of Zone of Death, where I definitely think we're going to see Tamawashi in there. Hokuto Fuji, I don't see dropping out. Chiyo Tairyu, I think, will be in there. Shohozan at Maegashira 4 with an 8-7 record, I think will move up to a Maegashira 3. I think Takakeisho is going to jump up somewhere in there. And probably Tochiyozan. I don't know that he's going to drop past Maegashira 3 with a 6-9 record. He very well could, and you could. I don't see anybody below Maegashira 5 that really deserves a jump up to Maegashira 3, though.
yeah, the guys that would be battling Tochiyozan for that spot would be guys like Ichinojo, Chinokuni. I would say Tochiyozan, in my opinion, is most likely to round out the top 3.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the rest of the Bansuke, kind of see any other big leaps or big drops. I think definitely. Well, what do you guys think?
I think two of our favorites, Ishiura and Ura, are in for a rough demotion.
Maegashira 16 for Ishiura. Come on, make it happen.
Yeah, that'd be nice, but
It's
I think
possible.
it's optimistic.
Yeah, I unfortunately have to agree with you there. Might have to deal with just one Basho with Ishiura and Juryo. He'll go 15-0 through Juryo.
Oh, easily.
yeah,
Have you seen the trapezius on that man?
exactly. So he'll make his way back up to Makinochi. He just needed a little slap in the face, a little hubris check, and he'll be back in Makinochi in no time, winning Yushos, becoming grand champion, and all that fun stuff.
I don't think we can say the same thing for Sato Naomi.
Ugh.
I don't see him
I think that
bouncing
one's
back.
pretty certain.
Yep, yeah,
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
He's lower than Ishira and with a worse record.
yeah.
Have you guys heard anything on his on what his injury is? I don't think I ever saw any news on that one.
I'm not sure what he was battling against. Obviously, it wasn't bad enough to keep him out of the Basho.
Yeah,
The
and
whole
he
time?
got a 2 and 8 of the ones that he was participating in.
Yeah.
That was so. I mean, it's
He
not
didn't look
hopeful.
very competitive when he first came back, but those last few days he was fighting a lot harder. A lot more of that fighting spirit. Somebody that's going to make a big jump up, we talked a little bit about him earlier, Endo, 10-5 record at the Maegashira 14 rank. I fully expect him probably 8, 9, and 10 around where I thought Aoyama was going to be.
I agree with that. Sounds
Thank you, Fleric.
Yep, that feels like where he should be.
Yeah. So what about people who we think are going to drop? Any more people we might think drop from the Makunouchi division, and who do we think is going to join us from Juryo?
I wrote down my best guesses here. I think some of the obvious ones: Yutakayama, 4-11 at Megashira 15. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Tokushoryu, same rank, same record. I think he's out of here.
Yeah, and Yutakayama, this was his highest ranking, I believe, and I don't think it was his first match in Makunouchi.
He actually got a 4-11 a couple tournaments ago.
Yeah, but-
same thing from the lower 16 rank, but he went to Juryo, did okay, came back up, got slapped back down again.
Yeah, so probably nobody that we're going to see break Maegashira 10 anytime soon. But, I mean, we could be wrong. We really don't know a whole lot about sumo.
He's still very young.
Yeah, he's 24. He's still very young.
He's
He's
got a
got
lot of time. The other one that I think is on the bubble is Nishikigi.
yeah.
He's got a 6-9, but being that low, I think he's got a good chance of going down.
I think he'll hang on. I think he's got enough under his belt that he might hang on maybe Maegashira 15.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to leave the Juryo discussion to people who know a little bit more about that than me, because like I said, the only ones I watched were the playoff ones.
Yeah, I just looked at the Banzuke, and the 4 most winningest that I saw was Miyogiru, Amin Mishiki.
Want to give that one another try?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'm
right.
Nishiki.
Thank you.
Apparently, I'm not that good at it either.
That's the right number of syllables, at least.
Yeah.
I think we might need some help with that one on which syllables actually are emphasized there.
Yeah.
We might have to do a
But
future
I think
episode
he's on
with
his
that.
way back up to Makunouchi.
Yeah.
I think so as well. If you know how Japanese syllables work, please reach out to us and let us know.
Clearly not our strong suit.
Yeah. Of those, the 2 of the 4 that I had, Dayamami as well, and Kotoyuki.
We need to get these guys up in Makunouchi so that we can hear their names on commentary.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And a name
Until
like...
then, we're hopeless.
Yeah, a name like Dayamami just needs to be in Makunouchi just so we can see him more and talk about him more, because Dayamami's just a fantastic name.
Yeah.
Yeah, of those, Aminishiki.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Aminishiki.
Just don't speed it up. Leave it at that for now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll say he's someone who's been around for a very, very long time. I remember looking up, he had he's on top 10 list for multiple sumo records. He's on the top 10 of the most division wins and the high division. He's in top 10, the most top division appearances, and top 10 of the most tournaments ranked in the top division.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I was looking back at his tournament records up until about a year ago. I mean, he was pretty much up there. He was one of the mainstays near the top. So this may be his last hurrah, but we'll see what happens in November. He'll get another chance at the bottom of Makunouchi.
Yeah. And just a couple more quick notes, a couple of names that I recognize. So Kokurai was the top-ranked Juryo person, and he had a 4-11 record, so he's going to stay in Juryo and drop quite a bit down there. Gagamaru is somebody we've seen up in Makunouchi, up and down Makunouchi and Juryo pretty consistently.
Right on the bubble, usually.
And it looks like he's not going to be on the bubble anytime soon. He had a 5-10 record at 7 West position, so he's going to drop quite a bit in there as well.
Unfortunately, it looks like Kotoyuki is back in Makunouchi.
That is
Much
very
to your
true.
displeasure.
My nemesis, and it happened again when I was watching the playoff. I was going to get there.
Yep.
When I was watching the playoff, didn't put his hands down.
That rat bastard.
That rat bastard. I would like to enlist some help coming up with better nicknames for him. I'm thinking something to do with how he tapes up his hands, so he's got like those flippers.
Oh, like
That's right. He's
Uro's
got
the
the-
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, or the Spock sign, or whatever.
I think there's got to be something with penguin flippers that we can do. Some clever nickname that I can call him, just because he'll listen to the podcast and hear about
yeah,
it,
definitely.
and hear about it, and hopefully feel a little bit bad.
Yeah. Okay. No, there's nothing like a little bit of shame to light a fire under somebody's
Yeah.
ass.
But penguin hands is totally okay. That's
Yeah.
respectable.
I think we can do better, but it'll do for the moment. He's penguin hands now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one more thing I wanted to bring up: Abby, however it's pronounced.
Abigail in polite conversation.
Correct. But we shorten it to Abby because we're very close to Abigail, and so it's okay that we call him Abby. He won the Yusho for Juryo in that playoff with the 10-5 record, but he was only at Juryo 11. So he'll probably rocket up the Juryo ranks, but I doubt we're going to see him in Makinochi.
Probably another tournament or two.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to Mac and Flarek for laughing at probably the worst joke I've made all day.
I was not expecting it. That was the problem.
And I mean, there's quite a few bad jokes that were made, so that's quite a bit of high praise.
We've barely begun.
Oh, God, if people only knew. Anybody else got any notes about the Banzuke? Nope, doesn't sound like it. All right.
And sold.
Yeah. So I think that's going to pretty much wrap up our discussion about our probably completely, totally wrong predictions for the Banzuke for the Kyushu Basho. We'll take another break, and then we're going to come back and have a little bit of fun because we haven't been doing that already, clearly. Bye.
Move over, Tidy Top Knot. A new breakthrough in top knot technology is in town. Introducing Top Notch Top Knot Ties, the true innovators in Rikishi cleanliness. Our no-slip, no-rip revolution will leave your top knot secured in even the roughest basho bout, while still being gentle enough to keep every hair on your head, not in your hair tie. Top Notch Top Knot Ties are here to take their crown as the pinnacle in sumo hair care. Rikishi is only as great as his top knot, so make your tie top notch.
She says, no, Sato no me. No, Sato no you.
Like I said, we like to have fun here. Welcome back to Grand Sumo Breakdown. And we're going to get over to the prediction series, which we did at the preview episode for the Akiba show. And so we're just going to mention right off the top that none of us got the Yusho or the Jun Yusho winner right. Flarek and I were screwed over by Hakuho not even entering. Jake and Mac were screwed over by Takayasu being out after day 3. Flarek and I got the runner-up wrong because Harumafuji won the whole thing. And Jake and Mac got Hakuho wrong for reasons said before. So, Jake, why don't you take us through kind of the rest of your results?
Yeah, I guess I got third place here. The only thing that I got right was I picked Hokuto Fuji to beat Harumafuji for a Kinboshi. That was the only thing I got right. All three of my special prize guys either crapped the bed or Mitakeumi did okay, but not good enough. And yeah, injuries. Flarek?
Injuries do it. I won the whole thing, right?
No.
What?
No.
Okay. No, I ended up getting 2 points. I got 2 points as well. And technically, with the rule stuff, Jake may have tied with me as well. But
We'll work it out. We'll figure it out.
Well, I'm not going to worry about that.
I'm going to let you have this one.
Okay, I'll allow that.
Jake was in fourth.
With second place, I got points. I got 1 point from Onosho getting a special prize, and Asa Noyama getting a special prize as well.
I would also like to point out, Flarek pulled both of those completely out of his ass during the prediction series for the preview of the Akiba show.
So they don't count then, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Aspoin takes.
I like this.
Aspoin takes skill.
That is true. It is not something you should go into lightly.
I've been doing it. I was going to say I've been doing it for a very long time.
Ew.
All right, and we'll move on to me. And I would like to point out, I won the first ever Grand Sumo Breakdown Basho Preview Prediction Series with a total score of 3. Or 2 plus a tiebreaker, depending on if you're talking to Flarek or not.
You're damn straight.
So
Groundbreaking.
I also got Hokuto Fuji beating Harumafuji for a Kinboshi, and where Flarek is discussing whether or not it's a tiebreaker or a point is who the person got the Kinboshi over. Doesn't matter for this episode. It all counts the same. But
Don't put yourself down. You got this.
Yeah, I know. I freaking won the whole thing. I'm
okay,
the
Ryan.
best. I will
It's
forever
okay.
be the first person to ever won this thing, and you guys will have to live with it. And I was the first person to ever win this thing, not won this thing. I'm just so happy I can't even speak right.
English words, things.
Exactly. But my other point I got was Takakeisho winning a special prize as he got the outstanding performance. Sounds like the best prize you could win. Sounds like a good call from Ryan. Let's go over to Mac and see how he did.
Yeah, how'd you do, Mac?
Was the ultimate winner. I am above all of you. Behold my power. I got 0.
Yeah.
Didn't do so well. The injury bug really bit my team hard in the ass.
Yep.
So what does that mean?
That means I lost in glorious fashion, just as I said I would. I am a man of my word, Jake.
You're right. That is a pretty accurate prediction.
I told you I'd do it.
And what else does that mean?
That means I will grace you all with the stylings, the taste, the poise of some haikus.
Ooh, and we'll get to that shortly. But I think Fleric would like to tell you all about the results of our fantasy sumo series that we've been running on our blog.
Oh yeah, I destroyed you guys. Totally won it.
Very accurate.
Yeah.
It was shameful.
Basically what happened is we did our draft too early. Everybody picked injured people, but Fleric did good. Fleric, how did Fleric did good?
I did good.
Thank you, Fleric.
No, you can check out the full results within the next day or two. We're going to have a post. I'm going to try and get it out as soon as possible. We're going to have a post that shows the full breakdown of the points that everybody scored and which wrestlers scored how many points and whatnot. And we're going to try something different for the next Basho. We'd like to have some audience participation. So when we post that article, we're going to tweet out a link to it. And we'd like everybody who is interested to come up with their best terrible sumo wrestler name joke.
No good ones. The
No good-
best
if
ones
you're-
will be instantly disqualified. It's
Instant.
got to be awful.
Yeah, the worse, the better. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But not so awful that it doesn't make sense. Does that make sense?
No, because our jokes didn't make sense either. We're looking
fair.
for something that will make us laugh. So if you can reply to that tweet with the joke, we'd love to add you as the 5th member of our sumo league for the next Basho.
Yeah, and we'll just kind of rotate through different people as we go.
Yeah, and once we have somebody, we'll discuss how we gotta, what accommodations we make to line up our draft time.
Yeah, who knows? Jake just made all that up on the spot. Fleric, Mac, and I didn't even know we were going to add a person to this thing. So
Well, Mac didn't even know we had a fantasy league based on his score.
yeah, that's true.
Hey, what did I say? The injury bug bit my guy's heart.
Yeah. Well, at least you wrote your haikus.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I wrote my haikus.
without further ado, let's get to Mac's haikus. To refresh everybody, he has to write A, a haiku about how bad Mac is. B, a haiku about how great I, Ryan, the winner of the first ever Grand Sumo Breakdown Basho Preview Prediction Series, is. And then 3, or C, depending on how I was lettering or numbering it before, how badly I would beat him in a sumo match. So, Mac, the
And
floor is yours.
This is our winner, ladies and gentlemen. The
Yeah.
guy that can't English or words very well right now.
I don't need to
He's
English.
so excited. It's
I
amazing.
just need to be knowing sumo. Good.
Your haikus. Would you like them in any particular order?
Dealer's choice.
A dealer's choice, as you wish. I shall start with how awesome the winner is.
My favorite.
Anata no un. Anata no sukiru.
You wrote in Japanese?
Shusha wa tatsu. The rule was make some haikus. Haikus are Japanese, am I correct? Though my pronunciation may be off, the rule was haikus. And I will honor tradition in this sense.
So, how does that
I see-
roughly translate?
I see no honor in this.
Konnichiwa, and I
It
agree.
translates to use a different program when you're doing this. As in, look these up online. I swear to you, they are truthful in every word.
Okay, I feel like this is all bull here.
It is not.
I agree.
It is not. I will gladly hand you these haikus for you to look up.
All right.
Why don't we get Jake started on that so we can, by the end of this episode, hopefully let you
give me
know
that.
what they were?
Give me that.
We'll just skip the other 2 haikus for now, and we'll get those translated for everybody, and we'll be sure we beat Mac down fairly good after this episode and let him
followed
know
your rules.
what a punishment is supposed to be. 'cause
I followed your
I
rules.
do not feel like I've been raised above everybody else.
I feel
and
like this whole episode's been ruined.
no, we're probably just going to have to re-record this whole thing, probably without Mac, to be honest with y'all.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
we could just quit the podcast. It's not too
Ooh,
early.
is that an option?
let's start our own.
Yeah. All right.
With blackjack and hookers.
Yeah, and all that
And
fun
no
stuff.
Mac.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll maybe get back to Mac's punishment, hopefully, with a nice translation. But until then,
he thinks he's won.
no.
he thinks he's won
He
something.
clearly lost everything. Whereas,
Indeed. I told you I'd lose in grand fashion, did I not?
yeah, we all knew this was coming. It's Mac.
Indeed. What about this did you think
All
I
right,
was going to do?
let's get attention away from Mac. Let's go on to one of our favorite recurring segments. Fans have been clamoring for it ever since we debuted it. It's Jake's Fun Facts.
Jake's fun facts. I had to do that myself.
Sorry, Jake's Fun Facts.
All right, that's better. Okay.
Fun Fact 1.
Fun fact 1 is actually a correction of how cruddy one of my fun facts was from last time. So I misread that Taiho's grandson was going to make his debut in September. It's actually November. Kind of anticlimactic there, but I thought
Jake's
it was
Fun
worth
Facts
noting.
has been canceled.
Oh,
Fun Fact 2.
thank God. Does that one still count? It still counts. Okay, anyways. We're going to roll 3 mini fun facts into one here. This is like kind of a mega fact. But the three younger up-and-comers that I mentioned at our preview episode were Yago. He actually had a losing record this tournament. He went 7-8 from the lower Juryo ranks. This was his first poor tournament. He's probably going to go back down to Makushita from here, but he still has a lot of promise. The second of those 3 youngsters is the American Waka Ichiro, half African-American, half Japanese. This was just, he's still in his first year. He went 4-3 in Jonidan, so he's probably going to be moving up to Sandanme, the 3rd division from the bottom, or the 4th division from the top, your preference. But he's showing promise. He's getting bigger, and he's still got his afro, so he's fun to watch. Third youngster would be Hakuho's protege, Enho. Enho went 7-0 again. He's had 3 basho. All 3 of them, he's gone 7-0 for a career record of 21-0.
Jeez.
And he is going to be moving up to Makushita for sure. Yeah, super promising. Only downside is that he is pretty small. He is kind of Ishiura size. So we don't know if he's got a ceiling, but 21-0 suggests that ceiling is probably high.
So he's Ryan's future favorite when he makes it to Makinochi.
Almost certainly.
Okay.
So, fun fact number whatever we're on.
Fun fact 3.
Thanks for counting. I'm an Ishiki, which I don't know. I think
You're doing better than all
I did
of us.
better than Fleric. So, but Fleric mentioned that he is kind of ancient and he's got a lot of longevity records. He's 38 years old. He is going to be the oldest in Makunochi. He's older than Takekaze by about 8 months. Takekaze being the previous oldest Rikishi there. I'm an Ishiki. He debuted in 1997.
In Makinochi or?
No, in sumo.
Okay.
Okay.
Still a
And-
long time.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. Guess what was at the top of the charts when Amin Ishiki made his professional debut?
1997.
Spoilers, because you're never going to get there. You're just going to think indefinitely. But it's Wannabe by the Spice Girls.
Okay, I could have gotten there.
It was the same year as I Believe I Can Fly and Mbop.
Oh no.
So there you go. But he's like we mentioned briefly earlier, he's kind of a top 5 Megashira talent. He's been up to Sekiwaki a few times even. But in May 2016, it looks like he had an injury, and he has been in Juryo since then. But he is back in Makunochi. And I had one other fun fact that was going to be provided to me by Ryan, so I think I'll pass it. This is kind of like Ryan's fun facts. Like
Ryan's fun fact.
like the lesser younger cousin of Jake's fun facts segment.
Lesser younger cousin of Jake's fun fact segment.
The 11-4 Yusho winner.
Yes. So Haramafuji won with an 11-4 record. That is only the 3rd time in the modern sumo era that an 11-4 record has been good enough to win a basho.
What date are you considering modern era there?
Like early 1900s, late 1800s, something
Wow,
like
okay.
that. The time before that, well, one of the times before that, it was a Magashira that won with an 11-4 record. The time before, and another time, it was a Ozeki that won with 11-4 record. So this is the first time a Yokozuna has won a basho with an 11-4 record.
Yikes.
Yeah. Any more Jake's fun facts?
That'll do it for this time.
I have a fun fact.
All right, Fleric's like the third rate, the Makushita division of fun facts, if you will.
That sounds about right.
He doesn't even get a sounder. Go.
Wait.
Fleric's fun fact.
Okay. Anyways, so I found out that the sumo wrestlers actually are wearing mouth guards when they're facing off.
We have been wondering that, haven't we?
Indeed, and I am very happy to realize that they are. It was during day 3 during Takanoiwa versus Ishiura. They actually, one of them had a mouth guard in their mouth, and you could easily see it.
Interesting. I
Never knew that.
wonder if they're all doing it then. If that was the first time it was super obvious to us.
If they were bashing heads against each other, I hope they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Even if it's just that one time per day, that's too many.
Agreed.
Maybe
And-
we should just change this to whatever random crap everyone came across since last time.
That has a pretty good ring to it, I think.
Yeah.
That it doesn't have my name on it though, so I don't know how I feel yet.
Jake's random crap that came up throughout the week.
And also other people's if they
Yeah.
feel like it.
Yeah, we can just keep your name. But
Okay.
we all just kind of throw in there.
Thank you.
Random crap.
All right. Well, let's move on to the GSB awards that are going to be presented by MAC. Mac, why don't you tell us what they are? And hopefully this will go better than the last time we had Mac featured in a segment of this podcast.
Is this in English?
This is in English,
All
yes. So, few awards to give out for this basho. Our first award is the Fat Man Flying Award, awarded to Takekaze. And his match against Daisho Maru got a little too zealous and wound up going end over end. His fleet flew quite high in the air. Next award, the Benny Hill Award, goes to Takara Fuji and Ishiura.
The best performance of the basho, in my opinion.
Hoping that there was music going on in the background.
Yeah. Ishiura put on a performance like you've never seen before. Whether that was a good or a bad thing is completely up to you. I personally loved it, but he lost, so then I hated it. It was embarrassing for all involved. Very deserving of the Benny Hill Award.
That's hilarious. You know what I just saw on the internet the other day?
What?
Kintamayama put that match to Benny Hill music.
He did?
I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
Now no one will ever believe that you came up with that.
No, I swear.
Oh, man.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
The Boom Headshot Award goes to the match between Onosho and Chiyotairyu, where Chiyotairyu landed several face smacks to Onosho so much that he fell down.
Yeah. And we watched that match right before we started the podcast, and very deserving of the Boom Headshot Award because the smack on the Tachiai
was audible.
Oh, yeah. Very deserving of the Boom Headshot Award.
We also have the Y Award. Now, this one is a little bearing. It goes to Oyama and Kagayaki. For those of you that saw that match, Kagayaki was clearly pushed out of the ring, and Oyama just wanted to get one more shot in and threw him into the spectator stands.
Yeah, he hit like second row. That was very uncalled for. Fleric, I see you leaning forward to defend your boy.
Yeah, he was just very determined to win the match.
He had a lot of that fighting spirit.
That he did.
He had too much fighting spirit.
And so now I have a more solid reason for disliking Aoyama than I ever did before.
That's fair, though.
Thank you, Aoyama.
Next up, we have the Never Pull Out Award, given to...
Might want to work on the naming.
All right, I'll work on that one. But you know what I'm trying to say. Haruma Fuji did not quit and did not pull out of this. The only Yokozuna that remained in the race the entire time. Not quite, because we thought he was going to drop out at one point, but he came back.
But he never pulled out.
He never pulled out.
He
did not pull out.
Man, we're going to need a lot of editing on this one. But yeah, those 3 Kinboshi in a row, it really looked like it was going to be one of those, oh no, I'm injured kind of scenarios.
I should pull out.
God,
Next award is Not Today.
Yes, please move on.
Where Rikishi snatched victory in the jaws of defeat, going to Kaisei and Ikioi. Ikioi had Kaisei up against the edge. It looked like Kaisei was going to fall over, and then Kaisei grabbed him and made sure that he fell on top of Ikioi.
And it was even worse than that. Ikioi had Kaisei turned around, like with Kaisei facing the outside of the doyo, and had perfect opportunity to push him out from behind. But Kaisei was able to turn around super quick, get a hold of Ikioi's head, and get a Kotenage head throw thing.
You started that so well.
Yeah. What was that?
The Kotenage was the Kimerite.
The winning technique.
The winning technique.
There you go.
Which is given out for every single
bout.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh man, just look, do you want me to finish this one?
Please.
Okay, so yeah, Kaisei turned around faster than any man of his girth has a right to, and managed to reverse the position on Ikioi and land on top of him, which, if you've seen Kaisei, you don't want to be in that position.
He is a very large individual. Next up, we have the Not So Fast Award, given to the number of false starts throughout the entire basho. This goes to Goeido versus Takanoiwa, because this, I believe, is what helped throw Goeido off of his game. This was on day 15. There were...
Day 14, it was Goeido versus Haruma Fuji, day 15.
No. What was it? Was Takanoiwa?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was definitely the last match. So,
you're right, that was supposed to be 14.
must have been the day
My
before.
bad. Anyway, there were several false starts in there that I think got into Goeido's head and brought about his demise, ultimately.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Next up, we have one of the most entertaining matches. Koto Shogiku versus Takara Fuji, where Koto Shogiku went a little bit out of character and tried to get his hug and chug technique to get Takara Fuji out of the ring, and instead pulls an over-the-shoulder arm throw.
That one was pretty cool. He looked like he was going all out on the pushing technique, and then when he saw that it wasn't working at the end, he just flipped to the side and, sent him flying. It was pretty cool.
And last but not least, we have the No Pain, No Gain Award.
I have a couple nominees for this one, don't we?
Yes, this basho was littered with quite a few of these. In third place, we have Shohozan versus Haruma Fuji, where Haruma Fuji slapped Shohozan silly. It was quite devastating. Next, we have, again, Shohozan versus Yoshikaze.
I see a theme.
Yes, where Shohozan managed to bust up Yoshikaze's nose and cause him to bleed all over the place. That had to hurt.
To be fair, if you're going to make somebody bleed, Yoshikaze is probably not one of the, high difficulty ones.
Oh, yeah.
But still, definitely
No,
painful.
it was a violent match, that's for sure. It was awesome. But yeah, Yoshikaze, I think it was getting late in the tournament, and he's like, oh, man, I've barely bled.
Yeah. Yoshikaze is basically the Ric Flair. If you watch professional WWE wrestling, pretty much Ric Flair bleeds if you look at him too hard, and I feel like Yoshikaze is the same kind of guy.
And last but not least, the winner of the No Pain, No Gain award goes to Tamawashi versus Takayasu on day 2, where both Rikishi injured themselves. If you saw Tamawashi's ankle, that had to hurt.
Yeah, his foot was upside down, and he put all his weight on it.
Yeah, and that's not even mentioning that's the match that Takayasu went out on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It looked like he stepped out of the dojo, stepped down to the ground off the dojo at the end of that match, and just tweaked his knee, something fierce.
So they brought out the cartoon gigantic wheelchair.
Yep. Well, that's the first annual, or what's 6th annual? I know there's biannual if there's 2 and triannual if there's 3.
We should try and figure out by the next podcast, but I don't know if that's enough time.
Did Flair just whisper sex into the microphone? All right, good to know. All right.
Sex annual? Is that what you're...
It's probably close.
No, this is important. All right, fine.
All right, and before we wrap this whole thing up, we just kind of want to go back through, talk to everybody, and what their favorite moment of this basho was. So while Fleric is looking up what sex annual or sec annual is, we'll start with Mac. What was your favorite moment of this basho?
Definitely the come from behind victory with Haruma Fuji. It was really neat to see him, the fire just get lit underneath him, and him charging his way back to the top.
I can't disagree. I think when there's a playoff, you can't claim that there's anything there's anything more dramatic or entertaining than that kind of finale. What about you guys, Fleric?
All right, Fleric found something on the internet, so we're gonna have to come back to him.
Did you break him?
That happens so easily nowadays.
Googling sex annual.
Not a good idea.
What?
Get some interesting search results on Google.
Okay,
I will say that.
I'll give everybody my favorite moment. Look up sec annual, SEC.
SEC?
Yeah, try that.
Okay.
And if not, we'll give up and admit failure. My favorite moment had to be just the feeling I had after day 12 or 13 when you saw Goedo was falling back to the pack. It wasn't going to be a boring last 2 or 3 days where you knew Goedo had it wrapped up, and just all the possibilities that were available. Like we said, there was a possible 12-way playoff after day 12. Asanoyama could have been the winner after day 13. He was still mathematically in it. Or you could have Haruma Fuji come in and ride all the way back after his poor start to get the Yusho. Just the feeling of excitement that I had after day 12 and 13 was really something I haven't felt watching sumo before, and probably won't see something like that again for a while. So I'm going to go with that's my favorite moment.
I feel like you've forgotten March.
I was going to say that Koto Kishiano Sado run was beautiful.
I'd say it's I wouldn't put it quite on the level of March, but it was the same idea. I think
That's fair.
It was a great come from behind. It was a basho you could make a movie out of if you wanted to.
All right, and for our sec annual update, we go to Fleric.
Yeah, don't Google that; it's impossible.
Okay,
It can't be done.
It can't be done. I actually am very close to Ryan's favorite moment. I believe it was either day 12 or 13 when it ended, where the leaderboard was Goedo in front with Haruma Fuji and Asanoyama tied into the second place runner-up right there. And I just realized any one of those people winning would make me really, really happy. And
To be fair, have you ever been a Goedo fan before he was on your fantasy team and he was getting you all the points?
Not in the least. But that's the thing.
Hey,
like,
it's as good a reason as any.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But like that's the thing. Like even if we lost, and I might have lost fantasy right there. Harumu Fuji coming from behind, or Asano Yama winning there. Those are great storylines, and I was hoping that they would happen, and one of them did.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. All right, and so that's going to wrap up our show for the most part. We'll see you next time for the Kyushu preview in November. We're going to have a couple of bonus episodes sprinkled in there, so keep an eye out for our Twitter account or our blog to see when those are uploaded. Until then, please feel free to rate and review our podcast on iTunes or however you get your podcast. Please leave us a wonderful review and a 5-star review as well.
You can follow us on Twitter at GSumo Breakdown. That's where you could tweet us some bad sumo puns as well. And our Facebook group, Grand Sumo Breakdown.
You can check out our blog, grandsumobreakdown.wordpress.com, where we post our Fantasy Sumo League and results.
And if you have any questions, comments, or corrections, please send us a line at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com.
That's it for this time. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time, throw your salt high and keep moving forward.